Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Know Your Purpose. It is Friday. I'm here today with one of my guests, as we all know. This is my son. We're going to be talking today about entrepreneurship and how he walked into his entrepreneurship and how things are going with his new business. I've had a lot of young people write into me and talk about how they want to start a business. So I brought someone along who started his business and his journey. So we want to talk to him and try to pick his brain to see where his business is going and his journey is going and how it's like to work for Doc and then work for your mom and how this all comes aboard to be successful and how he's became very successful in what he's doing. But rule of thumb first, we have to throw out a disclaimer. These are our thoughts, our opinions, our views. If you do not like them, go ahead and cast off. Thank you for joining us thus far. But if you like them, get some pen, get a pen, get some paper. We're gonna drop some nuggets tonight, so that way you will know how to walk into your new purpose in entrepreneurship. We're also going to talk about life and how life brought us down this road and the path we took. Again, this is the new month, but last month was Mental Health Awareness Month, and Saquon brought a lot of great nuggets to his show. So we want to end our month, the beginning of this month, also on mental health and how we're making it work with our mental health. So yes, further ado, Mr. Saquon.
What up, everyone on the Know Your Purpose page, podcast, listening. It actually feels good to be on the screen instead of behind the screen about 90% of the time. So I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you for coming on. So I want to throw out there that this will complete season 1. I started season 1 with you, and I'm ending season 1 with one of my kings, one of the two of my kings. It's been a great run.
Yeah, especially, you having public speaking and being able to transition from being able to speak in front of crowds to, speaking into a camera and a mic is it's pretty. I wouldn't know. I'm not a public speaker, but I know it's a huge transition, and the way
It
you handled
was.
it, you handled it really well. And as a producer, I can't be more proud than being able to help you out and come up with ideas,
Yes.
behind the scenes, or just being getting that exclusive with you and whoever. I'm very much appreciative of that. So
Oh, you're very welcome. And actually, being a this mic it is very different.
yeah,
It
I
is
can
very
only
different.
imagine.
I remember show 1. I was just so nervous. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I don't understand. This is what I do for a living, so I can't understand how it's that difficult. But it is truly difficult, and
Yeah,
I'm glad that you pushed me into my purpose, because knowing your purpose was something that we had talked about a minute ago.
yeah,
Yourself and see where this takes you. We literally hit 1.k followers a week ago.
duh, man.
It was
All the numbers I deal with, man.
it was it
I
was
can't
it
tell you on what
it
show.
was it we can't remember exactly which show it was, but it was amazing, and all the guests that I've had on thus far, they've all brought it. I mean, they've all brought something to the table. They all deserve to be at this table. They are doing fantastic in all the things that they're doing, and the journeys that they're making and embarking on. Season 2 is going to be even better. We're going to add some different things to season 2, so be on the lookout for season 2. We're going to add a round table discussion. So where we're going to take this thing a little bit different, and maybe even be a little bit more unapologetic for what we're going to
Yeah.
bring.
Oh yeah. Definitely unapologetic. A couple of times during my few episodes, it's been getting a little unapologetic, where I'm not gonna apologize for feeling the way I feel, or apologizing for the way I think, and that's just what we rocking with. And season 2 for you is, we're not catering to no one.
Season 2 is going to be really, really different. We're going to still talk about the entrepreneurship, but we're going to dibble and dabble in the good and the bad of
Yeah, the good
entrepreneurship,
and the bad,
and we're going to
especially
also,
not
yeah.
everything is all
Not no
sunshine
no
and
not everything's
rainbows.
good. Not everything's good. Even though social media has allowed us to stand on these platforms to make everything look good.
Mm-hmm.
But when soon as you take a step forward and embark on what's not good, then that becomes a huge problem on social media. We're on here, and a lot of people say we're not. Well, I'm not on here for likes. I'm not on here for this, and I'm on. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. We're on here for those
Yeah, I
viewers.
mean,
We're on here for
I'll
those
be
likes. We're
lying
on
if
here
I'll be
for
like,
that. Come on,
I only
come
got
through.
like, if I only got like one view, like I'm doing it for the one, like nah, I'm not gonna
No,
lie and be like,
let's not do
I'm not
that.
gonna lie and be like that don't hurt.
I mean,
That
don't get me wrong. I appreciate
I
the one.
appreciate the one,
I appreciate the
but
one. But you want to spread your message.
yeah,
And you
absolutely,
want your message to
absolutely.
be taken, and you want it to be loud and clear.
Yeah.
On why you're standing on your purpose, why your podcast, Let's Talk the Talk.
Yeah, using your confirmation.
Yeah, let's talk the talk. Yeah, I was making sure I got that right because I have been butchering that lately. And I get reminded. But you want people to understand, you want people to keep revisiting that show, and you want people to keep coming back every Wednesday night. So we need to make sure that we're bringing forth great interviewees.
Yeah, great interviewees, great energy.
Yeah.
Just
the energy has to be right. The energy has to be right.
Always, just being truthful to yourself before you hop on there, and not trying to be, someone I'm not, or try to get on a topic that I think I know that I know nothing about.
Right.
That's not my MO or that's not my style. So, for Let's Talk to Talk is literally just if I catch you outside the gas station, that's literally kind of how I want the conversation to be, because I feel like that's authentic. That's like straight up real. One of my sayings for Let's Talk to Talk is everyone has a story, everyone has a different way of thinking, and everyone has a different perspective of life than I do.
Oh, absolutely.
So why not bring as much people as I can and let everyone hear their story? Or
everybody's story is worth being told.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. we were all created with the purpose.
Yeah.
We were all created with the purpose, and that's one of the reasons why I think that our shows are doing so well, is because we give people that opportunity to tell just their story.
Yeah.
Without any commentation, without any made up make believe. This is your story. You are owning it. You are taking it by the bullhorns, and you are running with it at that point. So let's talk about what it took for us to get to these points. Because because let's talk about that. Because let me tell you something. This was a kid who had nothing to say for years, had nothing to say, walked the straight and narrow path. He was a great baby. He was a very quiet baby. I was like thanking God for him because he was like so quiet. He never gave us any trouble. Even throughout his elementary years, middle school years, high school years, college years, he never gave us any problem. He always sat back and always observed. So I was really surprised to see him flourish in his talk show. I was really surprised, minus some of the curse words, but I was surprised. And let me tell you, Doc is all, and he tells you all the time, Doc is always watching. So I got to make sure that I maintain a level of professionalism, because sometimes it's easy to just go off course and be like, look, let me just tell you how it really went down.
For real.
Have you found that hard?
Yeah, definitely sometimes I find it hard because I try to find like a balance of, like how you said, being professional and then being like, all right, y'all know I don't even, like
here we go.
I don't even play like that. So, definitely finding like that balance and that medium. I gotta be respectful that I do have, I may have some younger people watching.
Absolutely.
And I may have some older people watching. So, it's always trying to find that balance, where it's like I may not drop an F-bomb.
No, we don't need to drop those.
I won't be like, oh, sugar, look, or something like how I use
Sugarfoot. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Because that's what mom uses at home. Oh, Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead and throw that out there. I think Saquon, my biggest piece of advice to you is always remember your character, and always remember, your character is what allows you into rooms.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to know how to get into rooms, and your professionalism will carry you through those rooms. But if your audience that you are addressing is into that, you give your audience what you want, but always remember that your character is withheld within what you're doing. So sometimes people are like, as you started working for me, you was like, it's a difference between mom and son, and then when it's time to get down to business,
Yeah.
mom and doc.
Um,
So how'd you walk into that? How'd you walk into all that?
um, trying to remember. Um, so how I walked into working under you was that I wasn't really doing nothing on certain days, and this is a family business, so
It is.
it's all hands on deck, 24/7. So I'm like, well, if I'm just sitting here in the house with the dogs, and instead of you not being able to sit in your office and actually enjoy that safe space in your office instead of being greeted by 1,001 other people, I was like, well, I mean, I can do that. I can sit up front, take calls, write notes down, come get you, when someone comes in and comes out. So I was like, it's the least that I can do. Me personally, like it's the least that I can do
I
of
appreciate
taking
that.
time, from just sitting and just being like, you know what, let me do this because like you said, professionalism and then being there too, like it puts you in certain rooms that I
Absolutely.
wouldn't be able to be in if I was just like, all right, let me just chill at the house and only come on, days that I want to come up and interact.
Right.
So it definitely put me in, conversations where people where I didn't think I'll be, having conversations with. So it's always just trying to find like the better in it.
Absolutely. And
Like,
don't get me wrong. I know it can be hard, um, walking in the shadows of your parents.
yeah, I touched on that a little bit
Walking in the
last
shadows.
week with Amari,
Mm-hmm.
where
Yay, Amari.
um
Yes, she is doing great things.
very, 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 very great
Oh, she's
kid.
doing great things.
I suggest y'all, go look at Let's Talk the Talk episode 17 with Amari. She has a great
Yes.
story.
Wonderful story.
Wonderful, wonderful child. You know, you know, us in this family of entrepreneurs, we just don't stop. But I talked to her about it, and I was like, people won't say it, but I felt it. You come in, both my parents have degrees, my dad has some, and then you come in and you trailblazed it, and all these degrees in neuroscience, you're dealing with brains and you're teaching at Delaware, so it's like people see me and then be like, well, where's your stuff at? And I'm like, well, just me.
No, I
So
don't
I
think
know
so.
you, like I said, you may not see it, but
Right,
there
right.
are pressures that are there. Imagine you go down the street of Breast Mill and
Okay.
you look at your office walls.
Okay.
Tell me what you got in there.
I have a lot of degrees in that
Okay, I can
in that
stop you right there. Now
in
look at
that
my office
office.
right there to your right.
I'm looking at his office to the right.
What do you see?
I see some empty walls.
Empty walls and ambitions.
I see empty walls and
Empty
ambitions.
walls and ambitions. So the fact that I may not have
Oh, they're coming.
what you have now
Oh, they're
or
coming.
have what you have,
Oh, they're
but I'm
coming.
still making my way towards this entrepreneurship in my own way.
Yes.
I've always, yeah, even though I know you and my dad, school, but school is not meant for everyone, and I was
It's not.
glad that I had the parents that didn't force me.
No, no, because it's not for
It's
everybody.
not for
Just like this
everyone. It's
entrepreneurship
not.
business, it's not for
It's
everyone.
not for everyone. So you know, it's just that support system too of like just being able to be like, all right, let me calm down real quick. I can still be who I want to be
Mm-hmm.
and still be successful despite not having what other people have. I've always been one of those type of kids, and then growing up too. I never wanted what someone else had.
That's right.
I'm gonna get what I.
We
I'm gonna
all
get.
we all we instilled that in you.
Yeah.
We instilled that in you. Your
And
dad and
that
I instilled that in you.
some
Yeah.
that was early that brought up and was like, I think you brought it up on your show too, but it was like you be like, I wish you would be jealous of someone that got something. If you can
Absolutely.
just go out there and just go get it.
You can go get it. It's plenty more of them.
So, having that instilled, I was just like, all right, I don't need these college degrees. I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not knocking anyone who got it.
Oh,
I'm not
they're cool.
Yeah, they're
They're cool.
that's what I'm not
I
gonna knock
have them. They're
anyone
cool.
anyone who has it. If you have it,
No,
great.
no,
If
no.
you're going to get it, fantastic for you. Kudos. I am proud. But for me, it wasn't like that. I'm more one of those people where it's like I need to find me and understand me and love me in order for me to put out some of the best
Absolutely.
quality things that I can do. So That's where I am
One
now.
of the things that I literally try to instill in you, and I have instilled in you, is you have to be you.
Yeah.
You have to work towards what you want. It was my job to raise you into the best young man that I possibly could, within setting boundaries, limitations, okay? And those boundaries and limitations that affect your life now. Now that you're grown, you have literally walked your path and you're just starting on your path.
Mm-hmm.
So idolizing me or your dad or anyone else is not going to help you stay on that journey to your success.
Absolutely.
Um, and your success at this point, um, I literally love working with younger people. A lot of my clients in the last past couple of months have been
They've
young
been
people
younger.
because at this stage of your life, I'm able to walk in and change your mindset on how things operate and how things are supposed to operate. I like working with older people too, but
But the
some of
younger
those
range,
older people, they're already set in
they
their
already. I
ways.
was just about to say that too. I wanted to touch up on that too
Mhm.
because this generation that we're in is that we see through the BS real quick.
Oh yeah,
We
you
don't
guys
want
are you
nothing
guys are
but
target radars for that.
we don't want nothing but excuse me, authentic and real.
Authentic and real. Let's go
So if
there.
I can already look at you before you even say a word, or one of the things that I always touch upon was like, how are you going to try to tell me something and you haven't even lived it yet?
Well,
If you
let's do
haven't gone
this.
through that specific problem
Let's
that I'm
do it.
going through, how are you
Okay.
going to speak to me and tell me something? I
Okay.
need someone who's going through. You know what I'm saying? So I think you kind of relate to the younger generation because a lot of the things that we're going through, not knowing who we are, trying, not defining where we come from, define who we are going up in age and who we
Mm-hmm.
want to become. Um, Stuff with just family, acting up.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
people want
I've
to
been
hear
there.
that. Now, if you're some happy go person, and I can just see that, you can't relate when I'm like, yo, one of my people's just switched up on me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna feel the same way. You're gonna be like,
No.
well, you need to. I want to hear that person will be like, well, first and foremost, that was whack. That was BS at what they did. Not someone that's gonna sugarcoat and be like, well, people have their own.
No.
No, 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 no,
And
no. I
I'm
don't
that,
need that.
but I'm that type of mom that don't sugarcoat
Yeah,
nothing.
and that's what we
And
need. Sometimes we
we haven't
don't.
sugarcoated anything.
No,
Sugarcoating wasn't allowed in our house.
no.
Um, I think those are some really good words of affirmation that you just dropped. If you haven't gone through anything,
You can't.
I can't
Can't.
stand on the podium and talk about
Can't.
it. Quan, I'm one of 7 kids. You know, and I didn't have the very best, but my mom did the best. Catch
Mm-hmm.
that. I didn't have the very best, but she did her best. And it was up to me to carry what I wanted to take from her
Mm-hmm.
and use it. And the other stuff, I almost said a cuss word. The other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I
It
just
happened.
deposited over here
Right.
because. And the same thing goes for you. The things that I give you that you can hold on to and that you can manifest into something, do that. But
Yes.
the things that you say, you know what, mom, that was cool. It worked for you, but it's not going to work for me. But the stage has been set. You have been there through the ups, the downs,
Yeah.
the new beginnings, the new beginnings, the more beginnings, and now
Yeah.
we're here.
Some of y'all don't know. I've been here since Woody and Bishop.
And now you're here. Witty
I'm here.
Ambitions is a great. It was a great party coordinating company.
I,
We're still waiting to bring that back.
Honestly, I've been
Now
instilling
that
this.
COVID's gone, we're starting to get some hits, and we're starting to get ready to revamp that whole party coordinating company. So for those of you who don't know, I own a party coordinating company called Witty Ambitions. We kind of settled back after COVID. We lost some contracts, but now the world is opening back up. So we are now getting ready to launch that and get some people, hire some people, and
I might need a little bonus. You see how I
get
did
that,
that PR?
get that,
You
get
see
that.
how I
You
did
see how
that
you did that
PR?
PR? You see how you did
See how I
that
did
PR
that,
for me?
y'all? You see
Um, so
that?
we have literally done, and for you to be only 24 years old and have the experiences that you have.
I was just about to
You're
say something
like,
like
to me,
that.
I remember when I was 24, I was all mixed up and confused. I was like, okay, I had kids, I had a house, I had a dog, I had a husband. I was all confused. And then as cooler heads prevailed and things started to slow down, there were some misfortunes that happened in my life, and you and your brother, y'all were able to grow up with me.
Yeah.
It's a difference when your children grow up with you and they see the good and the bad of everything that goes on in your life. And granted, I've had a walk. I've had the walk of shame. I've had the walk of discernment. I've had the walk of praise. I've had the haters that keep on hating. And I've had the family dynamics where you have to come. Sometimes you just have to know when to let go. And it's not that it's not that we didn't grow up as brothers and sisters and in love, but sometimes you just have to know when you have to let go and let everyone else do their own thing. That was one of the things I had to do. It was one of the hardest things you watch me do. After my mother died, I tried to fill her shoes for a few years and it didn't work out because those shoes were never meant for me to fill. They were never meant for me to fill. And within understanding that and knowing that, I started thinking to myself, let me start building my legacy for what's going on for me in my life.
I think once we did that, I think me and your relationship was just like, it was already skyrocketing. We was already going outer space, but now we're like Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond.
Oh, of course.
Because it was just like you said.
Are you Woody? Are you Woody? Because I'm Buzz.
I kind of don't want to be Woody.
Well, you gotta be Woody. I'm your mom, so you have to be Woody. I'm gonna be Buzz. But infinity is where we're going. So we're both going to the same place.
Right, cool.
But I just want to be. I want to be Buzz. I want to be Buzz.
I want to be my dude with the T-Rex. So it's all good though.
The T-Rex. Wow. But I'm just saying, infinity is where we're going. Infinity. And I love working with you. I love hearing your new ideas. I love being that push in the morning to say, hey, because let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship is a crazy lifestyle. We are at this thing sometimes anywhere between 12 and 18 hours a day.
Yeah, it don't
stop.
One of the things you told me is like it don't stop.
It don't stop.
And then like you said, I would have never thought I would deal with just people.
Right, dealing with people.
Growing up, I
with people.
I didn't want to deal with them. I'll say it right here. I was.
Dealing with people can be hard. Dealing with people can be hard. One of the things that I learned, Saquon, when we talked about this vision of me changing my whole lifestyle and changing after having been sick for a while and going through that and literally trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life, because just because you are a certain age still doesn't mean that you're grown and you're mature enough to do what you want to do in the aspects of life. I mean, every day is something different. But when I decided to dedicate myself to this strong entrepreneurs business hub world, I literally said, some people are just not going to go with me.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't built to go with me. Was the rhetoric and the pushback hard? Yes. Because people that you thought would be in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't care how many years of friendship or brothers or sisters or cousins or whatever. A lot of those people dropped off because, and then I kind of geared it that they didn't believe in me, but that's fine because I believed in myself.
And that's all you really need. Certain people just ain't built. Some people just ain't built for it, and that's all right. And then certain people can't handle the pressure, but pressure makes diamonds.
Oh, pressure makes all the diamonds, and I always wanted to shine in some aspect of my career. So you know what I started doing? I started moving different, and I started doing a lot of things in silence. Just because you don't see me move, don't mean I'm not moving.
Absolutely.
So I remember, and I think you might remember this too. So I decided to go back to school for my doctorate. And remember, only people that knew that I was getting it were the people in our house.
Yeah.
And I remember posting it on social media, and people were like, "Oh, you didn't get that. Oh, you didn't do this, and you didn't do that." And I was like, and they were like, oh, can you post pictures? Can you do this and that? So I posted pictures. I did all this stuff. And then you still had some people who are still hating on you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But just because I didn't go out and broadcast that doesn't mean anything. It's just that I was at a point in my life where my life was already under the microscope. My life was
Yeah.
always up front. So when I wanted to take and walk back some things and say, hey, you know what? I want to keep these things to myself. I remember the day of graduation. It was just only immediate family. And some people got mad at me. Well, you didn't tell me you were graduating. I didn't have to.
I always say
I didn't have
too,
to.
sometimes not everything is meant to be broadcasted. You know,
Right.
some things you want to keep to yourself,
Right.
because if it's broadcasted, some people take that hype and they just live in that phase, that facade.
Yeah, my whole
And
my whole life is never been a facade. Um, I stand 10 toes down in everything that I do. I think it's made me successful in a lot of areas.
oh yeah, for sure, for
It's
sure.
opened a lot of doors for me. Um, the doors that are still opening for me. On Saturday, I'll graduate with, and Saquon, as Saquon says, those degrees and ambitions. On Saturday, I'll graduate again with actually National Accreditation of Counseling Services. It was something that I wanted to do because I remember when I was going through my go through.
Yeah.
I needed I
Imagine
for
if you
some
had someone like you.
imagine if there was someone like me, because I can tell you right now, African American people, we feel as though we are okay. We don't need to sit on anybody's couch. We don't need no mental health. We don't need any of those things. And that is false.
Yeah,
It is
very.
false. It's very false because we do. And I said to myself, it took shout out to my counselor Tyler, who's been with me for a long time. It took him to let me know that I wasn't okay. So he was like, you know what, Doc, you need to be that. You need to be that I am to someone.
Hmm.
So why a lot of people are like, oh my God, you went back to school, you did another thing. I'm like, yeah, as long as God gives me breath, I'm going to be an educator and I'm going to be educated. Because those are being an educator and being educated, those are things that can't nobody take away from you.
Oh yeah. No.
Can't nobody take those things away from me. I mean, my cars, my house, my money, my clothes, all those things could be taken away. But the knowledge that I gain daily, and the knowledge that I project out, that can't be taken away from me.
No,
It
yeah,
can't
no.
be silenced.
No, that's all
It can't,
yours.
it's all mine. So for me to do now, I feel like I'm making it successfully in this business. So now the give back has to be as strong as I built the businesses on.
Word.
The
That's
give
true.
back. And that give back starts at home with the people that are in my surrounding, my only quality people like yourself. So my give back to you is not only going to be my legacy, but the knowledge that I've gained. And you've been able to be around for the last 6 months and gain the knowledge that you have as far as now business wise,
Yeah,
and how
for
this
sure.
business thing works. So are you gonna stick around? Are you gonna open up some more podcast studios? Because we do have one in the work in Delaware. So we already have that. But where do you think this podcasting and all the knowledge that you're gaining from me, from your dad, from other quality people in your life, where do you think you're gonna take this knowledge? Because I hope only up. Because Buzz and Woody, they went
Um,
to infinity. You know what I mean?
that's a good question. To be honest, I see myself just starting my own pathway. Um,
Are you gonna come from underneath my shadows? Look at you growing up. Look at you
I
growing up.
mean, like you said, legacy is something that's really big in our
Absolutely,
family.
it is.
So, with you teaching me this, I don't see no other reason why not teaching, my close. You know what I mean?
This selfless act of love is so endearing to me. Um, I give a lot.
Yeah,
I give a lot, and then there's times where I think I give too much, and there's times I regret giving, but I continue to give
yeah,
because of individuals like you. Shout out to James Childs, 12 rounds with Childs. That's my man. I felt like he was a part of my giving back, and now I'm pouring in. People get that thing twisted with the cup, the filling of the cup. That your cup is filled for you to pour out, and you have to pour out your blessings to people. Saquon, that's one of the things that I have instilled in you and your brother. You have to keep, if God is blessing you, you have to bless others. Even when people turn their back on you, people say you're not going to amount to much, because you know that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
your presence, in your presence. When people out there, they discard you, like you know, you didn't matter. You do matter. Everything about you matters. And as long as you can keep that focus and that drive, everything you touch, everything you touch will prosper. Everything. And I literally had to 8 years ago embark in that on myself. I had all these things. Some worked, some didn't work. I mean, God, for Pete's sake, I was a hairdresser for
Yeah.
years.
Then did it
Daycare,
all.
opened my own daycare, did that for years. Started teaching, still teaching, doing that for years. So your vision and your vision board will change, but the thing that won't change is what has been instilled in you. And I've done my very best to instill those qualities in you and your brother. And now it's time for you two to go out and build that thing called legacy. Because my mom didn't leave us with hardly nothing. Well, she didn't leave us with nothing. She didn't leave us anything. But then again, I stop and think, and I eat those words back every time I say it, because she left me with a legacy. Her legacy was strong
Yeah.
and it was endearing. But one of the things she always taught us was to love and love ourselves. This stuff that we got going here on here at Brass Mill, it didn't listen. It did not. I don't believe in luck. I believe in faith and I believe in hope. Hope are things that are prayed for, designed for you in your path. Those are the things that I want you to walk out on. Step out on faith and do something different. I told you one time before, if you when you were working at Subway, what did I tell you?
Yeah. Said be the best subway maker you can
Be
be.
the best Subway maker. If Subway is where you want to be, then you better be the best sub maker. When you was at Walmart, I said you better be the best stacker. That you better not let nobody tell me that you was in there acting like you wasn't the best. So now that you have come into the world of knowing who you are, do you know who you are, or are you still trying to figure that out?
Um,
You're only 24. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I guess I know who I am somewhat, but as I grow, find new things that I didn't think I would like that I do like, you know. So I guess I'm still finding out who I am, but I know who I am majority of the time. I guess if that makes sense.
Well, it does make
But
sense because you're 24. You still have time to walk into what your destiny is. But one thing I can tell you is don't slow walk that thing. Don't slow walk that thing, because your purpose is driven. So you can't say I don't know who I am. You have to claim who you are.
word, word,
So that I don't know word is not for people that are in entrepreneurship, because you have to know, because you're gonna have some people that try you. You're gonna have some people that say, oh, he don't know what he's doing. So why should I be a part of this with him? Why should I be a part of that with him? You have to claim who you are, stand in it, put your shoulders back, take ownership of every lead that you have going on in your life. Because there's a lot of people out here, Saquon, that are gonna try you out. They're gonna try you out. Oh, he just sat on his mom's show and said, "Oh, I don't know this and I don't know that." Oh, we know, and we know what it's like to smell victory, and we know what it's like to even taste it. We know what it's like to be greedy out here in this game. We winning right now. Right now, we winning. Tomorrow, we may be losing. I'm not sure. I can't foretell day to day. But what I can tell you is know who you are. So,
okay,
so you have to claim that ownership. You have to claim that ownership. You may not know where this path's going to take you right now, but you know you on a path to greatness.
word,
You on that path. You have no
yeah,
choice. You come from great parents. You have no choice. I was just talking to one of our pastor's sons the other day. And I was talking to some kids, and I was talking to them. I said, you guys are pastors' kids, and everybody already has their mind made up on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Hey, Saquon, you say all the time, my mom, she's got all these degrees and it's hard to walk in her shadow. I don't want you to walk in my shadow. I don't want you to. I want you to build your own. That's why I gave you all the tools and the lessons I did within your life. And I'm still giving you tools and lessons. Saquon, now you know work I get done. Saquon, did you do this? Saquon, did you do that? So I'm still giving it to you. But now you're grown. You get to claim ownership. You no longer can say, well, my mom this, my mom that. No, I'm doing this for me. Within hopes, she would be proud of me, which I am, of course. I mean, I can't not be proud of somebody who just took a person who was just an introvert and became all the way open out in the whole world and doing your thing. I can't be more proud of the way you have turned out, the way you have embraced this new change in your life, the way you've ran these podcast studios, the way you have embarked in people's lives. I hear people talking and chattering about, oh my goodness, did you see Saquon's show? Oh my goodness, did you, I talked to Saquon. A guy stopped me at ShotRite. He was like, are you Saquon's mom? I was like, yeah, man, I met him at Sunoco, man. I'm trying to get on his show. And he was like, man, he's just a great young man. Those are the things that make us as parents just flourish. I think he was a young man that drove the Mercedes. Yeah. He was hyped up about just meeting you. And I told him, I said, well, he's only 24 years old. He was like, what? He's got the mind and wisdom of a 48-year-old man. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because he knows what I've instilled in him. And he knows what is necessary to make it. You know what is necessary to make it out here. A lot of grown men, Saquon, aren't doing nowhere near as much as you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I mean, we've had some grown people on our show, and they get out there and they still not making it.
Yeah, it happens to people,
So everything that you're doing, you should be very proud of. It is great coming in to work with you. It's great leaving work with you. I mean, we have some rough days.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
We have some rough days where, he has to separate the mom from Doc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has to understand, man, some days, it's hard working for your mom, but it's hard also, working for Doc too. Because those expectations that I put on you, I know they're hard. I know they're hard sometimes.
Well, yeah, but you just at certain times you just gotta separate. This is business, and you just don't take that stuff home. Certain people, they don't know how to separate that, and that's where they get their feelings hurt because now they're taking it kind of like really personal. It's just like, nah, I just need you to just do this and that. And like I said, it's just business.
Right.
Some people just don't know how to separate that. So,
a lot of relationships are, a lot of relationships are lost in that. A lot of relationships are lost where they can't separate, business from personal, because business and personal can go together. Like you just said, as long as you know when to turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
A lot of friendships have been severed. A lot of personal relationships, might it be husband and wives, boyfriend and girlfriends, significant others, booze or whatever. A lot of personal relationships have been severed because they can't draw the line where it's just business and it's just personal.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Yes. And it's sad because I've lost a lot of people along my way that just can't understand it's business. And just because we didn't work in business doesn't mean we can't work in a personal aspect.
Yeah.
Or just because we didn't work in a personal aspect still can't mean that we can't work in a business aspect. One of the things that I have been up against and I've been doing a lot of pondering with is people's egos and their pride.
Mm-hmm.
You would rather lose it all instead of bring yourself back down and humble yourself.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. There have been plenty of times as a mother, I've had to go back and humble myself and say, hey, you know what, Saquon, Davon, I might have did that wrong. But I'm willing to change. I'm willing to learn.
At that point, that just shows maturity.
It does. It's maturity in everything.
Some people don't have it. Some people do. It's just I was just talking about it the other day, where what happened to agree and to disagree and still being able to have friendships.
Yeah, that
doesn't happen anymore.
That doesn't
nowadays.
happen anymore.
It doesn't happen.
And then just that humbleness and saying and change your mindset and say, hey, you know what? After cooler heads prevail, She might have been right, or she may have been wrong. But why can't we?
Or,
What happened to that? Where we
cooler
can
heads
just,
prevail. Is just we just on this topic,
yeah,
we just don't, agree.
yeah, we just don't
That don't
agree
mean that
to sever the whole
yeah.
relationship.
That
You know what I
doesn't mean
mean?
the whole 20 years that we've been friends or however long. That doesn't mean that you can just be like, all right, it's over.
And you know what? I think it's sad when people do that.
Yeah, it's very
I
sad.
think it's really, really sad because we're all out here with the ending, in sight as victory. And again, not everybody is going to be made to understand each other,
No,
or even try to take the gift of each other. But one thing I can say is, if you're out there and look at it that way. I love the way you put that. Just business and personal. If you can't get it right either way, still you don't just walk away from it.
no, you just don't, because that just shows the real character that you have. Is that
Exactly. And
one
it
way
does.
or the other, you were going to try to find a way out.
One way or the other, you were going to find a way out. You weren't happy with whatever was going on. You
You
weren't
weren't
happy with
happy.
it. So you were going to take that escape route.
Yeah,
um
for sure. Like it's also just common.
it,
Like
it is.
if
It's
you
very
really just think
it's very
about it,
common.
you think it's like you wouldn't think that would be common sense, but if you really just thought about the whole situation where it's like, all right, we've been rocking like this, and one little thing come on, and that just puts it in more perspective of like, hold on, when we make other decisions,
Hmm.
now we look at and now we like, no wonder why your face was like that.
Hmm.
He was just always just trying to find a way out, and now that that we disagreed on something or something that doesn't happen to work out in anyone's favor, that was your way out.
It was your way out. And you know what's it's sad. The sad thing about it is, Saquon, um, I see it in more older people
Yeah.
than
Oh, you
I do
can't.
the
What they say,
younger
you can't teach an
generation,
old
because,
dog new
like you
tricks.
said, the younger generation, they see through the BS. And it's really sad because I think a lot of us could be out here really, really prospering if we were to sit down and revamp and change our mindset and say, you know what, maybe what that person says is going to work if I give it a chance.
Yeah. Or um, people just not not willing to just question everything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So
I,
listen. So Kwan is starting to really get into business, the business aspect side of what I do in business coaching. I'm hoping that he'll come aboard and be one of Brass Mills business coaches. That's what I'm pushing him to do. It may not be in his character, may not be, but it would. As me being a great mom, I'm going to try to push him to everything. So Saquon has been setting in on a lot of business coaching that I've been doing, and one of the things, as you just said, what did you just say?
just question everything.
Questioning everything. I mean, and when you're someone's business coach, trust is where it is. You're gonna have to come in and you're gonna have to learn how to trust that coach.
Hmm.
And I love the fact of how you always put my accolades out there. I love that. Not saying that I need that approval, but I love that, because one of the things when I was business coaching someone and they got up to walk out, and it was kind of a little heated, and my son reminded me, don't make no sense. Why did they even come here? Look at all the accolades across your wall. Like, look at all what you've done. So why did they even come if they were going to be like that?
Yeah, I think it comes to dang it. And the crazy thing is, I just seen a quote of it the other day, but it was something that you mentioned too, where it was like, people always gonna come back because they don't want to pay. If your prices are high,
Yeah,
your prices are high for a reason.
they're hard for a
You
reason.
don't want to pay a low, like, you know what I mean. In certain
Hmm.
in certain fields, in certain aspects, do you really want to be that cheap when you betting on yourself?
Listen, when you're betting on yourself, you
You
have to
don't
be.
want to be
Sometimes you
cheap.
have to be so expensive to where it weeds out the nonsense.
Exactly,
And then
exactly.
another thing that I've learned within business coaching and learned within business, the more I give away, the more people try me out. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So if you're coming in and everything's at a discounted price, you're gonna get a discounted version.
yeah. You're not gonna get the whole full
You're not
effect.
gonna get the whole full thing, because I got to do what I have to do to keep you coming back. But if you
Mhm.
walk in and you know that you sitting in the seat, I'm sitting at my desk and you sitting in front of me, and you know that your time is just as valuable as mine, you're not gonna waste it.
No, you're not gonna
You're
waste
not gonna
time.
waste it. You're not gonna waste time. And the thing about it is, if you're out there and you're in the realm of business and you don't have a business coach, you need to find one, because I'm trying to tell you, trying to take on all the weight of that on your own is not a good thing. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I've never heard a millionaire or billionaire say they did it by themselves. They did it by themselves. So if you out there and you trying, and there are some entrepreneurs that's out here that's self-made. I'm self-made, and that are out here getting it. But I know I get it with a team of 36 people.
Right.
I get it because I have a business coach that keeps me in line, that helps me walk through my journey. So if you're sitting there and you think, well, I can do this all by myself, wrong mindset.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you need to do is change that. That's the first thing you need to do is change that mindset. Because when you started this idea about this podcast studio, you had a great mentor. And
Yeah.
then you had me that was backing you. Then other people came along and started backing you.
Yeah,
We even
it's
have
just
people now that's trying to
goes
help out and back
goes
you.
back to like just having a support system, having a support team system, wherever you want to call it. But if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
that people just backing you, then I don't care what anyone says, your self confidence in yourself, it only take you so far.
It only listen
Before doubt creeps up in your
before
mind.
doubt creeps in. You could be the most handsomest person, most beautiful person, woman wise. You can look like you got it all going on. You can put your stuff out there on social media like you are the man or you are the woman, and behind closed doors, you are failing.
Yeah.
You are failing at every aspect of your life. Might it be spiritually? Might it be with your children? Might it be out here in this entrepreneurship world where you literally, that's one thing that I learned from you. He was like, Mom, when you get on that camera, don't go up on there faking nothing because people can see right through that.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I never come on here, with any, what people my generation do with the flashy stuff and almost curse too. See, look,
See, you caught yourself.
see?
Caught yourself with them potty
So
words.
like,
No cursing.
no cursing or know your purpose.
Oh,
You
no
want to get
cursing or know
you
your
want to get
purpose.
explicit, your head hit. Let's talk.
Yeah, you want to go
But,
explicit. You going over there to his show. Let's talk.
But
Talk.
it just comes into just being yourself.
I see a lot of people doing a lot of this fake stuff.
Yeah, I don't come in here.
That mask drops, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Eventually, your mask is going to come off.
Like,
Eventually, you're going to be Eventually, you're going to be exposed. Eventually, your mask will come off, and then you're going to try to shame those people. Then you're going to try to blame those people. Then you're going to try to be the victim. I mean, all these things. Just start fresh, start right, start anew, and don't be afraid. This is one thing I want to say to you. Don't be afraid to be that person to apologize first. Hey, I apologize if I made you feel some type of way, but we can still work together. But don't forget how that person made you feel. And sometimes you might not even be able to work with those people again. But burning bridges is something that you should not do. You shouldn't do it in your family life. You shouldn't do it in your business life. You shouldn't do it as a person altogether. So that's one of the nuggets I want to drop to you. Don't burn bridges because you never know when you have to go back across those bridges. You may not go across them jumping and running, but sometimes you have to just walk slowly across them again. But one of the things I can tell you out in entrepreneurship, if you out there faking and you putting up all these posts talking about you this, you that, and da 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 da, and it only takes one person to bring that reflection and that mask falls off. And then you out here all in the world, all alone, like you always was, without a support system. That stuff could really, not only could it ruin you, but mentally it could really take you under.
Yeah, because now you just feel, alone in this, crazy entrepreneurship game, which can really be crazy because you have to have a good support system. You gotta have, on the loneliest days, you gotta have one of those people to be like, nah, bro, I'm gonna need you to keep it pushing. Like, how we do. Stronger things are ahead. Winners are ahead. So I mean,
and if you keep faking it, I cannot stand that statement, fake it till you make it, because guess what? You may not ever make it because that mask may come off.
Yeah,
you really know. And Steve Harvey says it's the best in 90-day rule, man. I think you told me that one time before too. Like when
it's called the honeymoon phase.
That honeymoon phase, and everybody enjoys that phase. But if you can get beyond that phase, even in your personal life or in your business life, you're now moving into your journey.
Yeah,
you're now moving.
able to hear stuff that you don't want to hear, but you don't take it all the way to heart. You gotta take it into consideration. That's just showing the growth as you as a person and just you overall of doing your business.
Mm-hmm.
When you first come in, maybe you're real strong head, and someone's like, "Well, I don't like the designs," and you're like, "Well, I don't really like you right now," So, and then to have the growth of being someone being like, "I don't know about this one," you're like, "You know what? Hold on, let me take your idea into consideration, and let's go back to the drawing board. Let's really get
It's
on these
nothing
pros and
wrong with
cons."
that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's just the egos that people want to carry, and just I'm a firm believer of I don't put anyone on a higher pedestal. That's just me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if you make $30 million if you're god dang Jeff Bezos. Because at the same way, at the end of the day, at
Yes.
the end of the
Yes.
day,
Yes. That speak
if
about it.
you have any other, and I'm talking to everyone too, if you guys want to be considered on a higher level or whatever, let me find out how you put on your pants. If you can do it any different than how I do it,
I hear you. Let's talk about it. Talk
I will
about it.
be all
Talk
glad to
about it.
put
You
you
said,
on a
wait a minute.
higher scale.
He just said, if you put your pants on the same way I put my pants on, then we still on the same playing level.
Exactly. Unless you literally levitated your pants, like unless you levitated yourself and had to
Well,
telekinesis to
sir,
hold
talk
your
about
your,
it.
your your pants up
Talk
and
about it,
place
sir.
yourself in there,
Talk about it.
then okay, cool. Then most definitely, bro, you got it.
You
Bro
got
or
it.
sis, you got that. You got that on me. Whatever you want, I got you. But if you put your pants on the same way as I do, man or female, then why should I? Why? Because you got clout? Because you got 30,000 people following you?
And then
Out of those 30,000, how
how
many of
many
those
people really
know?
support you?
How many of those really know you or really support you?
Absolutely.
How many of those
Absolutely.
are bought? See, you know what? Now we getting too hyped.
Let's do it.
Because
How many of them are
now we
bought
now
at a
we now we
price?
talking now we talking something that people
Okay.
don't want to talk
Okay,
about.
let's talk
But
about it.
people buying that.
People buying.
People are buying.
A lot of people don't know that
buying.
those boosts on those advertisements, and then you out here you talking and you
talking
you
reckless,
seducing
and half of your people not even real.
and then now you out here in this world and you doing some type of seduction with people. You kind of make people feel like they the only ones, and it's thousands of them. Like that's not how we do it.
That's not how I rock.
That's not how we do it. That's not how we do it.
If I want you to tune in, I want you to tune in and be like, all right, yo, he talking that talk.
Stop getting on places and giving your advice and you live in a totally different way.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm not gonna come on Know Your Purpose and be like, well, yeah, I know everything. Nah, bro, y'all just heard me say I don't know. Y'all just heard me get chewed out.
Yes, got chewed all the way out.
In the nicest way, I got chewed out on live.
Of course.
In the
nicest
nicest way. And that's just, and you see how I ain't take that?
By your mother.
You see how I ain't look at her no different? Because I gotta hear it. I know that greatness is waiting on me, and I need to get that. I need to get that bus ticket, that train ticket, that passport, whatever I need to get. So, check your ego.
Check your ego.
When you come up in Brass Mill,
check it.
I'll tell you.
Check your ego. Now,
check your ego at the door.
Check your ego at the door.
I'm not with all that. No, I'm not with all that. Don't come in with no entourage. Don't come in on no riffraff. Don't come in on no. Because you already know you're not gonna get it here. You just heard it here. I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos or if you make Jeff Bezos kind of money. Listen. That don't mean nothing to me. You can keep looking for him too. I'll put his paper on the news. I'll put him on the milk carton too. You can keep looking for Nathan, but you're not gonna get him around here.
No. And it's the sad part about it is, so many people, Saquon, could be out there winning if they would just put their pride and ego to the side. So many people could be out there winning. I've introduced people to other people to try to get business relationships started, to try to get networking, and those people just won't budge. But those are the people that are going to lose.
You said that disclaimer?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I said that disclaimer early.
Zach, I know a lot of y'all. But that comes back to that old male lion tiger kind of BS.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what makes you think that you're man enough for not asking for help?
Mental health awareness.
I want someone to make it make sense to me. Because if I'm down bad and I know someone that's willing out there to help me, but I don't want to do it because my chest is all poked out, I look like a damn fool.
Hey, listen, my son has threw that out there. If
I've
you
been saying this for
if
years.
you can enlighten him on that fact, say that again, Saquon, because I want people to drop the comments.
I'm trying to tell you guys.
I want people to drop comments.
Make this like less of a fool. Okay, you down bad.
You're down
you
bad.
Got a whole person willing to help you.
Willing
all
to help.
You gotta do is say I asked. Like all you gotta do is I need help.
That's it.
I need help.
That's it.
That really makes you feel less of a man. Why does it make you feel less of a man? It's because some other old male that needed help but didn't want help but chose the harder way put that old male stipulation BS in your head of like, no, yo, I had to get it out. Like, you don't have to. That's the best part is you don't have to.
Dropping jewels at 24.
You said it right. 24, y'all.
Dropping jewels at 24.
And I'm trying to help y'all so that y'all can go back out. Because I don't have the experience that y'all have or the same situations that y'all went through. I don't have that. I can only speak so much about it.
Preach, sir.
Before y'all gonna have to make me, I'm gonna have to build a time machine.
I'm gonna have
to build a time machine to really help y'all out. Because I'm trying to tell you old males that y'all will be saving a whole generation.
A 13, whole generation.
I seen today on World Star that these kids weren't even 15. These kids were 10 through 12. All holding Rugers, Glocks, guns, and all that.
Preach, son.
But you don't think that if they were like, oh, well, dang, Dad, or dang, such and such, I'm really bad at this drill. And you know the kid like football, but you not good at a drill. But you won't go and hit your other homeboy up who was Heisman or rank number this or rank number that. You wouldn't do that for that little kid. So you rather be like, well, I don't know either. So that's when they go and he go pick up that Ruger. He go pick up that Glock. Because he ain't had the answer that he needed and what he needed in that sport. So he going to find the answer somewhere else. Some other guy that selling drugs, whatever you want to do, whatever yada yada woo woo. He got answers. So why would I not go to a person that got answers?
It has answers.
I'm trying to help y'all old heads out. I'm trying to
help
y'all
out.
I
want to see how many of them. I want to see
y'all hit me up in the comments.
Right. I want to see how many of them old heads took precedence on what you just said. How you just said it's okay.
And I want to say this too. I'm not taking shots.
We don't have to take shots.
I'm not taking shots. But that is something that I've been saying for years. That my mom has heard me say for years.
Yes.
That I've said to certain men over the years. But yet I don't think they get the full grip. So if you guys can comment, please do. Like I said.
This is about knowing your purpose.
Because I think it'll make me look like a fool. But if you guys say it don't and got a way that it won't make me look like a fool for not asking for help, even though help is right there, let me know.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm allow him to define the question one more time. Because this is not only just about knowing your purpose, it's about setting the playing level for young entrepreneurs, young men who are out here struggling, young men who are out here and say, you know what? Listen, I can't even come and ask for help because my daddy didn't ask for help. My grandfather didn't ask that. They got that tiger lion mentality. Like, so I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. This may be able. We may walk my season 2, segment 1 into this, because these comments, we may have to be back again because I want to see all of you men who are going to comment to let my son know, like, you know what? Why didn't you ask for help?
Yeah,
what was the purpose for you not asking for help? You could be winning right now, but you'd rather stay stagnant and in your own shell and losing. But yet you putting on Facebook, you all dressed up, you all this, you all that. And the aftermath of it all, you are losing because you won't ask for help.
Ain't nothing wrong with asking for help. I ask for help.
I don't get it.
I
don't get it.
I don't
get it.
I don't get it either.
But as a mother, what I did with my sons is I just try to keep good role models around you guys.
Well, number like that, and then also just breaking that old, I don't. Can you call it a stigmatism?
I call it a stigmatism.
Or do you call it a cycle?
You know what? I like the word cycle.
Okay, so
I like the word cycle.
One thing that you definitely instilled in me and my brother was that this cycle will be broken.
It has to be.
One thing, and I'll never forget, 13 years old. If you don't ask me, I can't help you.
Come with it, sir.
If you don't tell me,
I can't help you.
I can't help you. And one thing that I hate is being left out in the dark.
Who told you those words?
My mom, Stacy, Venable, Doc Venable, whoever you want to call her as, taught me that at a young. I never will. Look, 24 years old. She already like, yo, you supposed to make mistakes.
You're supposed to. I mean, that's what you're 24.
This is what
you're
24-year-olds do. But see, what most 24-year-olds don't have is they don't have that parent to be like, yo, you gonna make mistakes.
Absolutely.
If you don't, then like, what the hell wrong? You know? But like you said, you made mistakes too. But the fact that you're like, yeah, as long as you tell me, I can help you any way I can.
My golden rule to you and your brother was, I can't help you if I don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help you if you don't talk about it.
Yep.
I can't help you if you can't help yourself reason on why we need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't come and ask for help, then you're going to stay stagnant in that position.
You're just going to stay there.
Because there's an outcome for it, though. There's an outcome. And 9 times out of 10, the outcome may not be as good as if you would go to someone and ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you call that? The old man stigma? Is that what did you call it?
I just call it the old man, like, pride, like male tiger, kind of like male lion tiger or whatever.
So you talking about those alpha males?
Yeah.
Look, no.
There always be room for alpha and beta. That's just
I was getting ready to touch on that.
That's just universal.
There's always room for alphas and betas.
That's just universal. But
okay, let's do the but.
Some of them alphas out there
ain't alphas.
They're not alphas. They're
okay.
Beta.
Okay.
But some of them alphas who aren't alphas don't want to
submerge. Claim.
They don't go back to the betas because you want to know why?
I'm listening.
Because they got a pack.
Well, I don't travel in a pack. I travel by myself.
But if you got a pack knowing that you not like that, but you got a pack of yes men, think about it.
Well, jewels have been dropped.
Think about it.
Comments have been made.
Think about it. I'm just 24.
He's just I'm just 20. And Dad Terry said it the best. I'm just saying I'm not complaining.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not complaining.
You know,
I just
we want to throw up some of his words of wisdom as well.
Look. Y'all please hit that comment.
Please hit the comments.
We are very intrigued. I'm super.
I know Saquon that I have had, and we're getting ready to end this segment, but I remember the day that I had to go back and ask for help.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I remember the day
I remember that.
I had to go back and ask for help.
I remember that. I remember that day strictly down to a T. To me, it was one of the most like realest things, like stuff like that you see in movies. You don't think it ever happened to you, and I'll never forget. You know, things happen. I won't go into full detail for you guys because that we let that out. That'd be a banger. But
that would be a real banger.
That'd be a banger. But I'll never forget. You know, going through this rough patch, and my mom looking at me, I'm looking at her, and she's like, "I really don't want to.
I really don't want to.
But where we at right now is, I gotta ask for help. But best believe."
We won't stay long.
And this won't ever happen again. And I'll never forget it, you know, going to the situation, having to go back to where we came, and, being in an uncomfortable situation where you're living in a place where, you're not really all that welcome, and just hearing, your parent 3-4 o'clock in the morning, sniffling, crying, just thinking, and then just having the power to just sit up and not fully understand, but understand the emotions and understand that, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, we were looking at each other in our eyes and it's pitch black, but I can see every emotion and feel every emotion on your face.
Yeah.
And we're like, it doesn't make you less of a person to ask for help, but just know better things are on the horizon.
Better things. And
And
I
from
remember
then,
promising you. And I said, you know what? I remember telling my son, it won't always be like this.
no.
It won't always be like this. But I had to humble myself and go back to where it all hell broke loose.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to humble myself and say I need help. And I remember telling my son, it won't always be like this. And I know it's uncomfortable, but I used to tell him it's okay to be uncomfortable, but don't stay in uncomfortability. And I promised him that day, as we went and I took his hand and he took mine, I said, we won't be here long.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked up at me and said, how long? I said 30 days.
Yep.
And at the 30th day, we were leaving that situation and we've never had to look back.
Never.
But it rocked me to my core to have to ask for that help. But since that day, I'm no longer afraid to ask for it. I'm no longer afraid. And everything that I did, every decision I've made since that day has been given with thought and principle and matter. So again, my son asked, what's up with y'all? What's up with y'all older women and older men who won't go back and ask for help? What's up with that ego? What's up with that alpha, beta type thing situation we got going on? What's up with that, what you call it, the lion and the...
Yeah, that lion and tiger.
That lion and tiger route. What's up with that? So this is a part of my son understanding who he is, what his purpose is for, and the questions that he still has. You know, one of the things, and I'm going to end on this, my son, one of the things in life that you just can't get back is time.
Absolutely.
You just can't get that back.
Can't.
Another nugget that I want to drop tonight, sometimes being a parent, you learn as you go. There's no instruction book to these guys. You know, another thing I want to take, make sure that you're living up to your character so that your child can live up to their best character. Absolutely. You know, make sure that what you're doing in your life, might it be, I don't care if you're homeless and you making it work, if you're living up in Rockefeller's mansion and you making it work, make it work. Make it make sense for them. Because everything that my son has learned, he's learned a lot of it from me, but it's made sense. It's when they get confused is when they go out there and they make these decisions that are not good decisions because it doesn't make sense. My mother used to say, if it doesn't make sense, because it's not right.
Absolutely.
It's not right. So let me tell you, being a mother of kings is a wonderful experience, man. And then having your kings work with you and blossom from you and learn from you, and then go out there and instill all this in the world. I can't feel no better.
Oh yeah, you know,
I can't feel no better.
I ain't got no kids, but I got nieces and nephews.
Man,
right
I can't feel.
They learning everything over here.
Absolutely,
you know?
I can't feel any better as a mother. It's been great working with you, Saquon, and sky's the limit. You know, we on our Buzz and Woody type thing. We're gonna get some shirts made with our Buzz and Woody. You know, I still want to be Buzz and he's gonna be Woody. And that's how it is. I'm his mother. He's my son. And there's nothing he can do about it but love and enjoy it. Sir, it's been real.
Oh, yeah, it's been real. Make sure y'all tune in on Wednesdays to Let's Talk the Talk. I'll PR myself.
He ain't give me a chance to PR him, but he threw it out there. So on this last call, we got a lot of great things going on at the Business Suites of Brass Mill. Our new executive building will be fully open August 1. All our new leasees. We do have a couple more offices that we'd like to fill. So if you're looking for an office space, if you're looking for a place to grow, come along beside us. We're just not a business. We're a family. You inherit a family when you come here. We have about maybe 4 or 5 offices that need to be filled. We're looking for some great people to fill them. Give us a call, 410-297-9300. Ask for Doc, ask for Saquon, ask for Kia, ask for anybody in the building, and we're going to make sure that you get set right. If you're looking for a great business coach, we have some new business coaches that I'm training. We have some great new things. We have a business mentorship program coming. The podcast. Yeah, Miss Keisha's coming along with us. The podcast studio is growing. We do love her. One of the another things, the Business Suites at Brass Mill in Delaware is phenomenal. It is booming. It is taking off. We're looking at a great new location. So all these wonderful things didn't come on ego, didn't come on pride. It was built and self-made by just me personally and me being able to support and give the love to everybody else.
Absolutely.
So this is Know Your Purpose. This is the ending show to season 1.
Ooh.
I'm happy. I look
could
forward.
sound more enthusiastic.
I know. Come on, give me a better one than that.
That's like
Crowd
a
roaring, oh, you know, that type of stuff. So this guy, only this guy. Season 2 will start next Friday. We're going to start something new. So be on the lookout for us, man.
Yeah,
hit me up on all 7 of my platforms.
I control most of them, so be talking.
He controls my social media for those people who say, you ain't get back to me yet. So make sure you know.
Join the team. Don't even join the team. Join the family.
Join the family.
1200 Brass Mill. We are also throwing out. We got a sale coming up on podcast.
Yes, we do.
Hit your boy up. Come down and see it, so you can see the vision that we have down here as well. Big things more to come, and I appreciate Doc Venable allowing me to be on our show. Like I said earlier in the beginning, it's nice to be on instead of behind the camera this time. So I appreciate it.
You are more than welcome, sir. It started with you, and season 1 is ending with you, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to have great sons. I'm grateful to have great people in my life. I had to discard some people, but guess what? It made room for the greater.
Right.
Made room for the greater. So see you guys next Friday, 7 p.m. Look forward to it. Have a great week.